Yeah.
Okay, to our next story. You know, the ambitious Dangote petroleum refinery was sure going to upset the status quo in the oil and gas sector. Alhaji Aliko Dangote paid a visit to the presidential villa for a chat with Mr. President Bola Tinubu. In a discussion with newsmen afterwards, the Kano-born businessman told journalists that some major oil marketers and traders were bent on frustrating the president's attempts to restructure the country's economy. Alhaji Dangote was full of praise for the new leadership of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NPCL, even as he agreed that it's supportive in addressing his company's needs. Mayor.
Yes, I agree with Alhaji Dangote, but it's expected when there is a cabal.
Oh, did you see this coming?
Yeah, of course. When there is a cabal
Okay.
that have held down the oil and gas industry for so long, making huge amounts of money and doing all manners of scam, they know that Aliko Dangote refinery is a game changer.
That's it.
And it's going to stop the scam. The only problem that I have, you know, we've discussed it on this platform severally, that Mr. President must show decisiveness and leadership by doing something about NNPCL. And I'm so happy that he has done that. One thing you have to give this president is that it may take some time, but he's taking decisions that should have been taken long time ago. You understand? The people in NNPC have turned themselves to a cabal, and they know that, because my own argument is that if Dangote refinery is producing petroleum, I find it absolutely ridiculous for us to continue to import. Why should we import? So what you are supposed to do is to say that all the petrol that you want to produce, that you have capability of producing, give it to us. If it is not enough to meet the needs of the people, then you cannot import to augment it. Not that you are going to import and you'll be competing with Dangote refinery. It doesn't make sense. So I can understand what he's saying. It's the same cabal, because they will say that, no, we don't want to buy Dangote, we want to import. Government, and we cannot afford the kind of foreign exchange that will be involved and things that will be involved. So I know, I can understand what he's saying. I can understand his frustration. In fact, why Dangote refinery has been lucky is that Aliko has been in the system for so long. So he's used to cabals. So, in fact, he's one of them. So he knows how to fight them. If not, they will have frustrated Dangote refinery. Because there was a time Dangote refinery was selling to companies abroad, in Saudi Arabia, in Emirates, in America. You understand what I'm saying? They are not supposed to be doing that. It is after they have met the needs of the Nigerian people that they are supposed to be doing that.
That's it,
So, yes, I said it one time that, yes, Aliko could be a private businessman. Yes, Aliko could have been in businesses where he was acting like a monopoly. But whether we like it or not, Dangote refinery's interest is tied to our own in terms of providing the petroleum products that we need, in fact, saving us a lot of foreign exchange, and then any foreign exchange for Nigeria later. So it is important for everybody to support it. We should not look at it that is owned by Dangote. It is a national interest, so we should look at it. So there are some people, I think the president can still do more. He has done a lot. He has brought in a professional to clean up the place. And the first thing the guy did was to sack all these MDs. And we'll be hearing all kinds of stories since then.
Mayor, you know, one thing I give Mr. President is, since 1999, he's the first #1 citizen who takes risks.
That's what I'm saying. We have to give that to him. We have to give that to him. It's not perfect. Things are hard, but he has the courage to take decisions that others like to just overlook and push aside.
Vico, did you see this coming?
See what's coming?
You know, this, what Alhaji Dangote is telling us.
He's been at war with these people. What Alhaji Dangote wants is a ban on importation of petroleum products. Nobody is going to ban importation of petroleum products because we are in a deregulated environment. So He went to court. The matter is still on. He wanted to stop the regulator from issuing new licenses. In a deregulated environment, those who think that they should import can go ahead and import. Saudi Arabia is the market leader. They even still import from Nigeria.
Okay.
That point is clear. What we cannot encourage is keeping our refineries comatose so that we can promote a regime of fuel importation.
That's it.
The refineries must be kept working.
Alive, yeah.
Must be kept alive, whatever happens. And I hope this current NNPC board, that even Dangote has praised profusely in terms of the fact that the president brought together the very best in our country.
In the industry, yeah.
They must do their best to keep those refineries working. Even the Kaduna refinery, which is, they are still working on it now, they must keep it running so that we will be able to, will become even a net exporter of refined petroleum products. That should be our goal.
Yeah.
It cannot be our goal if we leave Dangote alone to
do
refining.
Yeah.
We must be the hub for sale of refined petroleum products. So I want to see Warri refinery working. I want to see Kaduna refinery working. I want to see Port Harcourt refinery working. I want to see more refineries come on stream.
Yeah.
I know that Bua's refinery, which is located in your state, they are ramping up work.
Yeah.
Soon it will be ready. That is what we want to see. We don't, when all of these refineries are working by themselves, those who have made up their minds that it has to be importation, they will naturally wind up business.
Okay.
What the people who have sympathy for those importers, those big marketers, are saying they invested hefty sums of money when our refineries were dead. When there was no Dangote refinery, they invested a lot of money and they were bringing in petroleum products. Of course, a lot of stealing took place during that time because we had the subsidy regime that was easily being manipulated. But the question now is, what do we do? Because I went to Warri and I saw the tank farms, big tank farms that Matrix, all of them, they have. That is where they receive.
We have company.
That is where they receive petroleum products, which they then sell to Nigeria. So those ones too want to survive, and the regulator is not prepared to simply not issue licenses to those guys. So how much longer
can we wait?
I do not know, but they have their own reason for not issuing, for continuing to issue licenses to those guys. But of course, to Dangote, it is wrong. And something must be done about it.
All right, Uzo, we kept you waiting, but sorry. Now, come online. How are you? Good evening. Are you there, Uzo?
Name? I want to commend. Good evening. I want to commend. Good evening. I want to commend the Otito and the mayor. There is this topic you people discussed 2 Sundays ago. Those two people on TV now, very intelligent. I really appreciate God in their life for the topic. In short, I enjoyed it. That was the best journalist anger. That was 2 Sundays ago.
Okay.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, Uzo. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes, it is said you pour oil on troubled waters. What do you pour on troubled oil?
Yeah, like Biko said, what we all of us want to see is for Nigeria to be a next exporter of petroleum products. That's what we want to see. And the cabal I was mentioning was different people within the oil industry who still wanted things to be done the way it used to be done. We cannot go that route. We cannot go that route. For example, I expected that given the quantum of money that was used in these our refineries to resuscitate the refineries, what they are doing now is not what they should be doing.
Okay. I'm told we must observe a break now. So let's go on this break. We'll come back very shortly. Please stay. This is still Journalist Hangout.
Cable. Great quality. Now with the new look.
All right, folks, welcome back. We were talking about Alhaji Aliko Dangote. He went visiting Aso Rock, saw Mr. President, came out from the talks with Mr. President. I was addressing journalists. He talked about his pains, you know.
Yes. He talked about, he said the problem he has is not with the new NNPC board.
Yeah.
Problem is with major oil marketers.
Yeah.
The major oil marketers continue to bring in petroleum products. Those petroleum products will sometimes be lower than its own price.
Okay.
Yes. So he made efforts to deal decisively with them by constantly lowering price. But the suspension of the Naira for crude made it difficult for him to continue to do that, because Naira for crude, whichever way we look at it, is another form of petroleum subsidy. Because the volatility, the foreign exchange, the volatility that we experience in the foreign exchange market, that Naira for crude effectively deals with it and the associated risk. So when that was suspended, Dangote adjusted its price upwards. So, as I've said, in a deregulated environment, the NMDPRA would still allow people to bring in petroleum products into our country. But if we increase the volume of refined petrol, those guys will be out of business in locally refined petrol. If we increase the volume, those guys will be out of market in no time. It's a matter of time. They can't continue. We will save a lot of foreign exchange. I understand Dangote's argument and why he said the president is being frustrated. But there is also the fear that a lot of these people harbor, that if they do not allow, because these are refineries, our own Nigerian refineries, nobody trusts them, that they can't do so much. Petrol is a security product that they are scared of any form of monopoly happening in that sector. That is the fear of the people who are issuing licenses. Okay, let people bring it in if they want. And they can point to countries that despite their capacity, they too are still bringing in. Because it's better for you to have it in abundance than to
begin to
have the risk of not having enough. If we don't have enough, petrol goes to 1,500 naira per liter. What are we going to do?
But you know, Dangote's argument is this, or let's say my own argument. Let me not say Dangote's argument. My own argument is that I understand perfectly well that we must not allow monopoly. But there cannot be monopoly. One, we have 4 refineries that are supposed to be working.
But they are not.
That's what I'm saying.
Either
by act of omission, because if you
maybe
claim
for so many years we didn't really care.
Because if you claim, but after that they said they have spent billions of dollars. You understand? To do turnaround maintenance in this refineries. And for so long, this thing is not working. You understand what I'm saying? Because why is it not working? It's the same cabal that didn't make it work.
The NNPC.
The cabal in NNPC.
The cabal that Dangote is talking about.
I know, I'm just saying.
Outside of NNPC.
Yes, I know. The cabal that he's talking about is the majors. The mobiles,
maybe he should add NMDPRA.
Yes.
I guess he didn't want to add
He didn't want to add
because without NMDPRA issuing license, can anybody go and bring
Yes, I know. Because what he's saying is, I know, for example, that the major marketers are bringing in petroleum products every time.
They are not out of business
But my own problem is that since they are bringing in this product, my own argument is that since they are bringing in this product to sell, they can as well collect it from Dangote.
No,
there could be an arrangement.
They are not prepared.
Why is that so?
Please, Benga wants to join us from Abuja. Benga, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, my elder statesman, Mr. Jones, and the honorable there.
All right, welcome.
Our law have not forbidden importation of fuel to the country. The PIA encourages importation, and it's good for us. It's a willing buyer and willing seller market. It will make those who are the local to be more efficient and make sure they increase their price. If we buy importation, before we know it, they will form a clique. They determine the price. But the fear that importer can take away their customer will make them to want to make minimal gain. So it's a good thing for us. And it should be encouraged because anything can happen tomorrow. Nobody should follow around. In Nigeria today, we have this association.
Thank you.
Just gang up and say, no, this is what we are having. So it's a good thing for us.
Thank you, Benga. Thank you. Yeah.
That is
I see
he made a valid
point.
One thing is certain. For me, the agency to take the decision about issuing licenses is NNDPRA. If they don't issue, Dangote has been wondering, why are you issuing fresh licenses? So if they don't issue, these people can bring petroleum products in. But a lot of them are still bringing in petroleum products. There was a time when I had, sometimes they get into these talks and then they pull out of talks and say, okay, we are not buying from you again. It's the nature of a deregulated environment. People have choices. To say this is what I want to buy, this is not what I want to buy. So I want us to be able to increase our local refining capacity and capability. But we cannot totally ban importation.
Okay.
We cannot totally ban.
I agree, but also, but importation too can affect the business of those who are refining the petroleum products locally.
No, you can sell.
It can affect
to people abroad. You can sell. He has clients outside Nigeria, of course.
Okay.
He has clients. He's already selling to US. He's selling to even South American clients. So that's the thing.
Okay, folks.